Hi guys, well, as you've seen from some of the other videos, we're building the little windows now, the pull-out frames, and if you remember, I did a video of the first three. Here's a clip of that now. So if you can see here, we've built three frameworks, that one, and that one, and this is what the plastic will attach to. And these will just be little pull-out frames. We're not going to hinge them or anything, although we could if we wanted. Well, anyway, what we've realised, this timber that we've been using is 1x2 pressure treated, and we were going to use this for them frames. The only problem is it twists a lot. It's buckled, there's pieces. I'm going to get a piece now just to show you what I'm trying to get at. Where have I put that piece? I don't know if you're going to pick it up down the camera, guys, but I'm going to hold this piece up here for you. Can you see the bend in that piece of timber? It's like a banana. And the problem is, because it's such thin timber, and even that way as well, look at it. Because it's such thin timber, it's not making great frames. So I've decided to make them out a bit thicker timber, and this is what we've got. If I come back a bit, you should be able to get it all in. Here we go. This is what I've got. It's dead flat and it's dead square, and when it sits in the screen it fills the whole thing. It's a little chunkier, but we haven't had to buy this wood. I've cut it down out of some old scaffolding boards. Excuse the dust flying around everywhere. I've cut it down out of old scaffolding boards. So, as you can see, there's a nice clean edge there where I've cut the last piece. The boards are not the best boards, but I've got a load of offcuts, which would be ideal for doing this. So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make them out of this. They're going to be covered in plastic anyway. So, but it's square. So just thought for anybody who's, I'd let you know what we're going to do. It's a long process, and I'll show you us cutting these down now in a moment. But for those of you who are going to do something similar with pull-out frames and stuff, don't buy the 2x1 timber pressure treated. It just bends all over the place. Get yourself some old scaffolding boards. Trust me, cut them down. You're going to have a dead square frame, which is going to benefit you a lot better when it's coming in and out of the polytunnel. It's going to look square in the polytunnel, and you're not going to have issues with it letting in water and everything else. So as you can see, the difference in the strength on that is, you know, much better. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to come back to you with cutting up some of this timber. Make sure you got your glasses and just wash your hands. Cut that bit because I want it for the side pieces, but so I'm going to put that to the side a moment. This one has been cut down to just over the length I need for all of them, so I can alter the length as I need it. And now we're going to cut this one through. So get 4 pieces out of this one. Okay, this one will come for something else. We'll use that somewhere else. We now have 4 pieces, ideal now for the top and bottom, and we'll just cut the one we just cut now, which is this one here. We will cut our 11-inch pieces out of that and make up our frames, and that's essentially how we're gonna build these frames now, because that other stuff's just not up to the job. We've got scaffolding boards up we salvaged, might as well make the frames out of them. So I'll come back to you now when we do finish maybe one side of it, so you can see the difference in what it would have looked like. Hi guys, well, as you can see, I've now finished building all the frames. It's the next day and it's around about 4 o'clock, so it's taken nearly 2 days to build these frames, but by doing them with the scaffolding board, they're not twisted, they sit in there tidy, and when we put the catches on, once the plastic is on, it'll make life a lot easier. Still got to board the back of this, which I'll be doing in a moment, and after today the polytunnel will be ready for its plastic. But as you can see, all the frames are now built. There we go. And it's just a case they'll have little handles on them, and they'll pull out like this. They'll have plastic, and we'll just store them in a box that'll be at the back of the polytunnel. But it's just going to allow us to control the heat in here a little better. So next job, get the playboard on there. Well, there you go, is the back wall done, apart from that little bit between the windows. We'll get that done tomorrow. We've run out the playboard with us, so that'll be the next step for tomorrow. It's too hot now to carry on working, so that'll be the end of it for today. See you later. Morning guys. Well, as you can see, the glass still needs a clean, but the back wall of this polytunnel is now finished. The reason we've put the painted side inside the polytunnel and it's black was because obviously these were salvaged plyboards, like everything else apart from the main timber. We try to salvage as much as we can, but we it was ideal that it was painted black. Obviously the other side's just normal timber car and we could have turned them around, but we've decided that the black would be better on the inside, and the reason for that is that black absorbs the sun, and these are going to heat up throughout the daytime. They're going to absorb the sun throughout the day, and then at night time they're going to irradiate that heat back into the polytunnel, so it'll be warmer for longer in the polytunnel. You know, the temperatures are going to cool down. I'm going to try and explain a few things, but maybe later on we'll do a video on it, or whatever the case being. The floor is going to give us that area to cool the polytunnel down. We can spray water on it and that'll evaporate, which will help cool the polytunnel down. We obviously got all our ventilation to cool the polytunnel down, and we've got the option to add more if we need to. On this bed here, which we'll talk about more in detail as we go, these beams, the reason I didn't want to use scaffolding poles, which I'm sure some people would have thought would be better, we couldn't really do it because we couldn't put a knuckle to join the scaffolding poles on here. But the other reason was we wanted to be able to screw into these, and on each of these we're going to have a hook and a hook there, okay, on every single one going along this bed. And we'll be able to then sit bamboo canes in it from which we can run strings, which will allow our tomatoes to grow up the string, and it's just a way of supporting them. Also above, we're going to put a hook here and a hook here, and we're going to have netting that we can just pull across from our end, hook it onto this end. That'll help shield the polytunnel if it gets too warm. So basically we can shield the plants. We're using a triple layer polythene anyway, so we haven't got to worry about them scorching because it has the UV filter in it and everything. But obviously if we do want to shade the plants, we've got that option, and when we're finished with it, we just unhook it back from here and then just push the net right the way back into this corner here, and it can just stay there as and when. The other thing this will be good for is we can store our bamboo canes and things above it. Okay, as you know, I put them 2 extra posts in, which have given it, you know, huge amount of downward stress, so you know it's not going anywhere, and that's going to help with the snow and things. So like I said, we can store our bamboo canes. We can also run drip irrigation from it if we needed to. Okay, so it's given us a lot of possibilities. So anyway, that back wall's now finished. The front wall is ready for a plastic, so that's all we've got to do now. It's plasticky, but I can't do that until after I've dug this away, and as you can see, I started scraping it back just to see how tough it is, and it is quite tough. So I'm going to run a string from that peg right the way up there, I don't know if you can see it, right the way up there, and down to the one that's down by the van there, and we're going to dig this down so it's about halfway down the board. Once we've done that, then we're able to put the plastic on, and then we can get on with the rest of the videos, like the water catchment and framework for, you know, for sorting out and how we're gonna, you know, how we're gonna attach the plastics and things like that. Anyway, that's probably going to be it for a little while. I'm sure you don't want to see any more video of me digging, so I'm not going to bother video that, and we'll just get up there, get it dug, and job done. Anyway, I will see you probably in a couple of days once I've done that. Well guys, I know I wasn't going to show anything, but I've dug that much out today. I've been all day digging it. It's really hard digging. Give some sort of idea just how much I've dug away at some points, and it's getting deeper as we go. But we got a relatively flat area now along here, which will mean that we can put a path and stuff in it. That is the mound of soil that we've taken out, and when this dries off, we're going to process it through the trommel. But as you can see, it's a massive mound of soil. The whole width of that 10-foot shed there, you know, we're up about 4.5 feet. So and we still got all the way around this, well, the rest of this side and all the way around the back to go yet. So we'll have plenty of soil which we can process and put down in the bed down there. Anyway, I'll come back to you when it's all done. Bye.